Hey, hey, it's like 6:30 in the morning. How do you have so much energy at 6:30 in the morning? Good morning, you guys. I'm not sure what we're gonna get into today, but it is Saturday for me on the farm, and we have dogs to groom today as well as catching up to do. So we'll see what we get into today. I'm not going to make any promises, and that way I don't tell you no lies, but regardless, it's going to be a fun Saturday on the farm. So come along with me and let's see what we can do. Just want to stop here and make a quick note for those that care. This is my horseradish that I brought home from Oregon. I just dug it up and stuck it in some pots, and it made the trek across the country in the back seat of my truck. And as you can see, it did die back and then went ahead and sprouted anew. So it is doing beautiful, and thank you to the wonderful friends that let me come to their house and dig up some horseradish. Looks like we got another inch of rain last night. We had some pretty gnarly storms roll through, woke me up, kept me up, shake the house kind of thunder and big light show, and looks like it came with an inch of rain. So liquid nitrogen for the garden. That will make about 5 inches of rain this week. So we've had some serious rain, and I mean, the garden speaks volumes to it. And so do the weeds. The onion wall is coming right along. It's a perfect place for them to, just hang and dry and be. And I still have lots more left to braid, and there's some over on that table as well. And the potatoes are almost done curing, so I'm brainstorming what I'm gonna do for storage for them. I think I'm gonna try to go to like Walmart or something and get some like baskets, like toy baskets, and stackable toy baskets, and I think that's what I'm going to use to store them, and that way I could store them also specifically for what variety they are, so I can keep track of how the variety stores and does. And it's good to lay your onions out, and then check them periodically while they're drying, and you'll be able to, like, I walked by here this morning and I could smell it. I could smell that something was off, something was wrong. And like this, that one's not gonna store well. It's done. And so you just go through, and I go through and I try to braid, I try to braid one a day, but it ends up being like one every 3 days that I braid, which is fine. They're just sitting out here drying. But I did walk by this morning and I could smell bad onion, and it's a very pungent, acrylic smell, and lo and behold, this was my culprit, which is a bummer because it's a pretty decent sized little onion, but it's no bueno, so that's okay. We've got plenty, and so these are going to go to the chickie poos. I am headed out to feed them now. Morning, how did the new nesting box setup work? Nesting boxes to the side, and it looked like it worked pretty stinking good. Nice. Yeah, they're not all flipped over, and awesome. Okay. I cannot believe. I'm trying to make a video. Jeez. I cannot believe that they ate all their kelp in one day. I just put that out yesterday afternoon. A whole bowl of it. They ate it all. They were missing their kelp. Yes, you're handsome. Oh, pasture chickens is awesome. Are you lost? You don't belong here. I do think it's my neighbor's chicken. Bart! Shame on you! You need your wings clipped. Oh, you naughty boy. Alright. Making a pit stop. I'll try to set this up where you guys can see it. I have old Mr. Bart here. I just caught him. Don't be silly. You have sharp talons. Okay? Now, if you have a chicken that is, you know, been jumping or getting out of the pen, it's pretty simple, and I usually just do it with them hanging upside down. But basically, their wing, let me see if I can find a better way to do this for you. Okay. So their wing, the bone and the meat of their wing is where their small feathers are. These down feathers. These long feathers are actually, I mean, they attach to the, you know, to the meat at the bottom of their wing. He's upside down right now. So when you go to trim feathers, when you trim wings, and the reason why we do this is it keeps them from having the ability to fly. And which, you know, he's flying to get up on top of the coop, and I don't want him up there because if he jumps down on the outside, then he's subject to being a prey to a bigger animal. So basically, when you trim their wings, some people do both. I just do one, and I just do it along the line of the small feathers, but I give it about an inch. So I'll show you. This is what it looks like before. Switch hands. Ouch, I'm getting bit by something. That's what it looks like after. I can actually trim a little bit more off of that, but so there you have it. There is a trimmed wing. This is his wing that is not trimmed. So now he has one trimmed wing. We'll see how he goes. See if I catch him up there again, and if I do catch him up there again, then I'll trim his other wing. But that's also kind of a telltale for me when I'm keeping track of what birds are problem birds, as far as birds that won't stay in their coop. If I have to trim both sets of wings, then I know that they are a problem bird as far as keeping them in. So and it doesn't hurt them at all. There's no blood. It is just the feather that you're trimming. You're not trimming any skin, any, you know, bone. Some people think when you say clipped wings, they're on a chicken. On our farm, when we clip wings, and what most, you know, homesteaders are talking about when they say they're clipping their chicken's wings, it just means that we're scissoring the feathers shorter. There's no blood. It's not painful whatsoever. It's just taking away the length of the feather that allows them to loft themselves up in the air and fly. So there's your farming lesson for the day. Well, that was another cutie patootie dog on a Saturday. Can't beat that. Another new customer, another happy new customer, so that's always good. And the bee got a bath too. And a new bandana. Huh, bee? Yeah? Okay, and we are back in the kitchen. The lighting's not great in here, sorry, but I'm gonna flip you around anyway. So we have the beginnings of zucchini relish, because as you know, I'm a little overrun with zucchini and crookneck and straight neck squash and patty pan squash. So I'm trying to find ways, and I'm asking clients and friends for their recipes. So this is a recipe that a friend of mine gave me. Thank you, Miss Donna. And I am going to give it a try. It's her mother's recipe, I believe. It's a family recipe. And it's basically zucchinis, onions, peppers, vinegar, salt, sugar. That's not what's in here right now. Right now, what's in here is the zucchini, water, and salt. And this is gonna soak for 3 hours. And then I'm gonna come back and drain this, and then I'll add the other ingredients, and then we will put it in jars and can it. Now this is not water bath or pressure canned. This is just canned with the heat of what goes in the jars. So I'm always a little skeptical of those recipes, but her family has been using this recipe for years and years and years, and I trust her. So we're gonna do this. So I do not have peppers coming out of the garden. I do have onions, so I will be adding onions from the garden, and instead of peppers, I went ahead and I put kohlrabi in, just to add a little bit of a kind of a radish flavor. So something a little different than her original recipe, but I don't have peppers coming out of the garden. So I do have kohlrabi coming out of the garden. That's what we're using. So this is gonna soak for 3 hours, and we're gonna go find something else to do, but I have to do dishes first because I'm not moving my camera off this pot until I get dishes clean. Because you can't see it. Okay, I just spent, I don't know, an hour. I did some weedy whacking, and my no-dig garden is just, it's as wild as the rest of them, but I took the tops off the glads because they were just ugly, you know, the ones that were spent. And when I went through, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and weedy whack in between the rows here, so that I've got some semblance of being able, you know, somewhere to start. So, but the tomatillos, look at this, you guys. My tomatillos are getting big. Look at, they're getting big. They're starting to fill up. This one is almost full. And that's when, like, this one right here, this one's ready. Oh, if I can get a hold of it. Right there is your tomatillo. I have no idea how these taste. And you guys can see, no judging. I've been weedy whacking, so there's stuff all over me. And I'll get to this in just a second. But I have never, ever eaten a tomatillo off the vine. It tastes, wow. Tomato meets cucumber meets apple. Meats. Okay. So, tastes a little bit like a tomato. Like the flavor is almost like tomato and apple. The texture on the outside is just like a green tomato. You know, you got to break through and then it pops when you bite into it. The texture on the inside is exactly like a watermelon. The sweetness is what hits me first, and that's what's crazy. Oh my God. I could totally eat those in a salad. Wow. I mean, I could totally eat those in a salad. I don't need to like can them into salsa verde. That was delicious. Or even like maybe a chutney, because they are sweet and a little acidic. Very good. Very, very good. And I am glad because I have a boatload of them coming. I've always thought that they were supposed to be sour, and there is a little bit of sour there. I do like sour things, so I mean, you guys just gotta kind of know that about me. I do like sour things, but I've got a boatload of them coming, so I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, so I wanted to show you something else. I came out and I did. The reason why my fingers are black is because that is tomato resin. That is from pruning and tying up my tomatoes. So I came out here. Look at this fasciated blossom that created this guy. Look at that. I mean, I think 4 blossoms. So a fasciated blossom is when the blossoms fuse together. So, you know, like here you have, here is 2 blossoms, right? Well, if they were to grow together and fuse together, and then the tomato, it gets pollinated and the tomato grows together, and it's a fused together tomato. So that's what a fasciated blossom is, and this is what it creates. It creates a ton of this. On the back side is called cat facing, and usually these are not very edible because there's a lot of hollow spots inside, and you know, it's just opening up a lot of area in there for rot. But I have never been able to grow my own tomatoes in my adult life and be present. I did grow some last year, but I wasn't here. And so therefore, usually you would pick these off because it's just wasteful to let the plant put the energy into this blossom because it's probably not going to be usable. But I want to see how it grows. So I'm going to leave it. Because I'm curious that way, and because I just want to see what happens. So we tied everybody up again and went ahead and pruned again. Took off the bottom leaves and anything that looked, you know, diseased, dead, or dying. and took out the suckers, well, most of them. I keep seeing more. And this is the queen of the night. I've got some tomatoes. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? We have lots more coming too on this queen of the night. There's another bunch right there. And then we have indigo blue. We have a few on this plant. Lots more blossoms and stuff, but you know, in the heat of the summer, they don't particularly love to. They'll drop their blossoms. If it gets above, you know, 90, 95, they start dropping their blossoms. So I'm just trying to keep them healthy, and I mean, as healthy as I can. It's not the best prune job, but here's our okra. You can see it now. I've gotten the weeds away from it somewhat. It's a work in progress. I feel like I'm gonna spend forever catching up after being gone. But now I'm gonna get to doing some more harvesting and get some more done out of the raised bed garden. You know, peek at the sunflower. My sunflowers are bringing me so much joy. But I have a ton of food to take out of here. This plant started producing. I still have kohlrabi I've got to take out. I've got, you know, this plant is still producing. I'm gonna let one of these, I don't need all of them. I'm gonna let one of these, I might let the whole thing go. And I think I can, this is mustard, and I think I can cut these and hang them upside down and let them dry, and then harvest the seeds out of the seed pods. I want to save the seeds so I can make mustard. And it's, I mean, it's kind of a whimsical little thing. I don't think I need, I don't know. I mean, they went ahead and bolted on me, and these were like the last 3 or whatever it was that I had left. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I've got a lot to harvest and a lot to do. Well, the zucchini relish is done, and it made about 13 pints. I mean, if you include the half pints in that. So, and it is delicious. It's sweet. It's more on the sweeter side, but it's yummy. I think we're really gonna love this. So as you can see, there's a partial jar here, and this one I'm gonna go through first. So excited about that. It is 9:52 at night, and I haven't edited this video yet, so I just thought I would finish it out for you guys.